Alrighty guys, it is Qaaman here today, and I'm bringing you another Q&A. And as you guys already know the drill by now, I'm going to be doing half on Twitter, half on Ask FM, same formula as always. So without wasting any more time, let's get straight into this video. So the first question comes in from Geekdom 101. Qaaman, what if Goku married Android 18 inside Dragon Ball Z or GT? Well, the timing would be kind of weird as to what point would Goku marry Android 18, but if he married her inside Dragon Ball Z or GT, I think Geekdom actually has an inside joke and he's probably going to comment on it. But if he married Android 18, I mean, that probably would lead to them having a very, very, very strong kid. But actually, probably not, because 18 is a regular human with just, you know, enhanced body parts. So it's not like that's going to be a part of her genetics. So, I mean, yeah, they'd probably have, you know, still have a strong kid because of Goku. And she probably wouldn't care if they let the child train unless it's a girl. Maybe she might not. That's the best answer I could give you. I'm sorry. That's very, very hypothetical. Okay. Goodnight Moon wants to know, Qaaman's Land, have you seen Yu Yu Hakusho Poltergeist Report movie? It's very funny. I actually know Goodnight Moon has actually asked me this question before, which is why I'm kind of surprised. But to answer his question, yes, I actually have seen Yu Yu Hakusho Poltergeist Report movie. I've seen everything of Yu Yu Hakusho. I've read the manga. I've seen every episode in Japanese and in English. And I've also, you know, seen the two movies and several specials that it's had. So yes, definitely. Great question, Goodnight Moon. Your favorite athlete of all time? This should be a no-brainer for anybody who's seen my channel for a while. It is Dwayne Wade. I'm a big Miami Heat fan, and, you know, Dwayne Wade is just awesome. And, you know, he's actually my favorite athlete of all time. Not just basketball, but, like, he transcends basketball. He transcends football. He's just the greatest athlete to me. You know, he's just, I mean, he has a great personality. He's a hard worker. He's a team player. He's not selfish. You know, he always does the best for the Miami Heat organization. He always takes pay cuts so that the Miami Heat team could always be in the best position. Dwayne Wade, hands down. Kylo Ken, I wonder where he got that idea for name, wants to know, is Josh a pedophile if he looks at women? He is a lot older than all of them. I mean, I guess, but it would depend at what age. I mean, if you're saying he's so old, this guy's saying he's so old that if he looks at all of the women, yeah, I guess technically, yes, Josh is a pedophile because technically he is older than time itself. And this guy's saying as long as they're 18. All right, so let's see. Vic Kalp wants to know, do you think Oob and Bulla will come in Dragon Ball Super? And if yes, how will they be placed? No, I don't think they will be in it at all. I think if Bulla is going to be in Super, she's going to be an infant or a toddler at most. Because this is supposed to take place in the gap, but before, you know, we get to the 10-year gap at the end of Dragon Ball Z, right before Goku met Oob. So considering that I don't think Super is ever going to lead up to what Z did, because it just wouldn't make sense, because that's the whole point of what Toriyama was saying. He placed the characters in this arc because he felt they were at their best around this time. I don't see why they would, you know, ever mention Oob. I mean, Oob's not supposed to come for years. What is something do you want to see in Dragon Ball Super? I don't want to see more Super Saiyan transformations. That's something I want to see. I want to see no more Super Saiyan transformations. But in terms of something I want to see Piccolo and the other minor characters get a significantly better role. I don't want this to turn into Digimon Season 4, where basically Goku and Vegeta are so much stronger than everybody else that everybody else is irrelevant. Why are you so sexy? Well, if you think I'm sexy, well, that's because of the fact that my parents gave me some good genes. And also, I'm taking a 2-question limit per person. Also, in terms of skill, who's stronger? Like, if everyone had the same speed strength, who would win in terms of skills? Great question. I actually have a video planned on that in the future, but that won't be uploaded for at least until Blackenfist uploads his next video. All right. If I had a shower, would I still smell like potato salad? Well, it depends. Would you put the potato salad right after you took a shower? Then yes, you'd smell like potato salad. And in your opinion, what are the best and worst movies of Dragon Ball Z, specifically Dragon Ball Z? Well, if I'm just sticking with Z, I'm gonna have to go with the best movie. This is very ironic I'm saying this because I'm not a big fan of, fanboys of this particular character, but Broly the Legendary Super Saiyan was my favorite film. Along with Lord Slug, it's always been a two-way race between. I really like Lord Slug, so those two are my favorites, but I'm gonna give a slight edge to Broly. And the worst Dragon Ball Z movie would have to easily be Bio Broly. Bio Broly was garbage. Alright, let's see. When Goku turned Super Saiyan 3, why does his voice sound different? It sounds epic. Yeah, it's just Sean Shamel is just trying to add, more of, I guess you would say, a more badass effect to it, like, I'm gonna kick your ass now. I also remember when Goku was fighting against Omega Shenron. I don't remember the exact quote, but in the Funimation dub, he was saying, oh yeah, this place is a perfect place for your burial. And, all we need now is a body, and I'm sure afterwards, it's going to be you. That was one of the best quotes he's given. So, yeah, I think when Goku turns Super Saiyan 3 and 4, his voice really does sound really cool. Oh, I missed your question, Nick Corrigal. For Super, would you rather have great story / shitty animation or great animation and shitty story? Not like Toei can do both. Oh, I'd rather have a great story and shitty animation. I mean, honestly, guys, yeah, animation, okay, here's the thing, guys. Dragon Ball Z didn't have the greatest animation in the world. I don't think Dragon Ball Z had great animation, but, I mean, Super looks like like the worst kindergarten drawing you could ever imagine. It makes kindergartners look great. At times. I'm not saying Super's animation's always bad, but I'm saying at times it looks really bad. So, honestly, I'd rather have a great story. And Dragon Ball Z doesn't look the greatest, but as long as the story's good and the action looks great and it's captivating, that's all what really matters. My eyes will bleed to the animation if it's necessary. Alright, IDFK, I wonder what that stands for. Also wants to know, how strong would Whis and Beerus be if Old Kai unlocked their full potential? Oh man, I've never actually thought about this. I mean, I would think they'd get some type of increase, but I mean, you got to think that, it's heavily implied Whis is some sort of deity along with Beerus. I mean, what potential do they really have? Are they kind of already what they are? Yes, Beerus can get stronger, but what potential do gods have? Because they're basically created to be powerful. So that's a very interesting question. It's kind of like asking that whole question of the omnipotence of God. If God is all-powerful and God can, do anything, then can God create something that's too heavy for himself to carry? It's kind of a complicated question. Can God create something that he can't do himself? That's kind of weird because it's kind of counterintuitive towards it. And I kind of think of it with gods. Well, when it pertains to a god's power, what's their limit? How strong can they get? Are they just really strong? All these questions have to be answered, and I just don't think Dragon Ball Super is advanced enough for me to answer that correctly. Joey Luther King wants to know, was Trunks truly stronger than Vegeta after they trained in the hyperbolic time chamber? No, it was implied that Vegeta could probably use that same transformation as Trunks, but he didn't do it because he realized its weakness. And yes, Joey Luther King, I basically answered your response here. Android 18 versus Final Form Cooler, I'm gonna have to go with 18. I mean, if we're talking about that 3-year... Okay. See, the thing is, Dragon Ball movie times, and you should check out my movie, timeline placement analysis of the movies. The Dragon Ball movies are very inconsistent with exactly when, but considering that the only point in time that Cooler movie would take place would be in the gap after Goku defeats Frieza and in the gap before the android threat, that's the only point in time that movie could take place, then that would mean that Goku would have the amount of power that he had, when he basically was blocking Trunks' sword with the finger, if not a little bit stronger. And if Goku's around that power, and, Goku and Vegeta were around the same, and it was implied that Vegeta could have been stronger than Goku, and Android 18 mopped the floor with Vegeta, and she was toying with him alongside Trunks, well, 18 would mop the floor with Final Form coolers. So I hope I gave you a good answer here. Cthulhu Fubar. That actually might be my feature question, depending on what's next. And Dragon Ball's Best wants to know which is the highest, Joey's Wild's views, Josh's AIDS, or Harold's power level. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to go with Joix Wild, also referred to as Expert Games. Expert Games has too many views, man. Like, that guy, awesome kid, awesome guy, awesome person to talk to. I was like the first Dragon Ball YouTuber to talk to him. He's an awesome kid, but I mean, his views are just insane. If I was, he basically drops a video and it gets 100,000 views in a few days. Expert Games can take a fucking piss and shit in a video, and that would get 1 million fucking views. I just don't understand. Like, I've never seen a YouTuber just blow up the way he has, and you know, it's just incredible how just in a few months he's like surpassing almost all of the big Dragon Ball YouTubers and just going beyond. Like, his potential's off the charts. But he's an awesome kid. And let's see, just to give 2 more people a chance, does it matter if you're fat when getting girls? Definitely not, Seat Killer, because oh, he has a picture of the Barstein bears. I remember there was some whole controversy about them, how like there's some like alternate universe, how they basically became the bears. They used to be the Bearstein Bears, now they're the Barstein Bears. I remember Mike from Laughingstock Media showed me this. They used to, like, because I remember when growing up they were the Bearstein Bears, but then they became the Bearstain Bears. If anybody's looking at this in the comment section, please respond to this, because I remember reading this article a few months ago. They used to be the Bearstein Bears, and I specifically remember them being the Bearstein Bears growing up as a kid. And then I saw like they were the Bearstain, and I'm like, wait, where the heck did this happen? I don't remember them being the Bearstain Bears. So that's one weird thing. So good question, Heath Killer. It doesn't matter if you're fat and getting girls. You know, if you can pull them, you can pull them. And Ghost Mask Gamer wants to know, do you remember the time when we fell in love? Do you remember the time when we first met Michael Jackson? Yeah, I love Michael Jackson's music, if that's what you're trying to say. And as the final question, 2 questions, I'm gonna be generous, man. I'm feeling generous today. What do you think would have happened if Goku had Gohan's temper when it comes to family? I think Goku kind of already has, but Goku's lighthearted. I mean, Gohan is, you know, his rage basically helped him get through a lot of points. Goku was a more all-around better fighter. So if Goku had Gohan's temper, man, I mean, are you talking about his potential or just his temper? Because if Goku had Gohan's temper, he might do some really dangerous things. Because if you remember what Gohan did to those Cell Juniors, I mean, that was quite wicked. And last but not least, Seth T, would you rather watch the Dragon Ball Z dub or Dragon Ball Z Kai dub? Okay, I gotta make this. This might be my featured question. The reason why I would do the Dragon Ball Z dub over the Kai, I think Kai has superior voice acting. Super Jane has done this. But you're also talking about the accumulation of the show. If we're strictly talking dubs, I'm going to go with Kai, because I do think the voice acting for the most part improved. I do think some things were better about the Funimation dub, but there's a difference between voice acting and there's a difference between scripts, and Kai had a significantly better script that was closer to the manga, so for that Kai gets the edge. Now, the reason why I give the Dragon Ball Z, the Funimation dub, a slight edge is because, number one, I've agreed with Blackenfist on this. I personally liked most of the filler. I actually like the complete project of Dragon Ball. Yes, some of the filler is not as interesting, like the fake Namek arc, but, you know, like things like where, you know, Krillin, Gohan, and Bulma in space, and then you see those kids who were terrorized by Frieza, and then when you see other things like the Goku and Piccolo getting their driver's license, and, you know, the other world tournament arc, like, yeah, I understand that Kai did keep some filler, but for the most part, I like the filler that Dragon Ball Z added. I like the complete package that the anime has to offer. Because to me, if I want the original Dragon Ball series, I'm just going to read the manga and there's no dub. I'm just reading it. Yes, I understand Viz, you know, did, you know, change up the original manga to some degree. But if I want to read the manga, I'll read the manga. There's no other way of reading the manga because Viz is the only one that's done it. So if I want to read the manga, I'll read the manga. If I want to watch Dragon Ball, I want the full-on experience. This isn't just counting Dragon Ball Z, this is counting Dragon Ball 2. I want to get everything that the anime had to offer, including filler, because I felt that made it complete. And that's the thing I didn't like about Kai. I wish they had dubbed it completely while still keeping in those filler episodes, because personally I like them. But that's my personal opinion. If you say it in the comment section below, guys, please explain. But that's my honest opinion. That's probably gonna be my featured question in all likelihood, unless I get a really good question on Ask FM, which I'll be right back for. Alright, so it seems like we are back to our Ask FM portion of this video. I'm trying to make my Q&As 25 to 30 minutes instead. I'm trying to, because I know that some people actually prefer the shorter ones. So the first question is, hey Qaaman, I saw your tweet on trolls. I see what you mean, man. Alright, so let me explain this really briefly. I don't think a lot of trolls realize this, and I'm not giving attention to the trolls. I'm just flat out saying that they don't understand that they're helping our channels. Let me explain this to you nice and simple, guys. If you think about the way YouTube works, if I get views on a video, it's going to be featured more. If I tagged it well, it's going to be featured more. If the video has a lot of likes, if it has a lot of comments, that it's going to be featured more. That's why YouTubers always annoy you guys and saying, please rate, comment, and subscribe, because it helps us out. So even if you watched a video, because we're not at, the way YouTubers get paid is by advertisements, but so you guys watching is not directly paying us, it's the ads that's on the videos. So when you think about it, guys, that's why we always ask you to do that. And in doing that, the more comments our video has, the more likely our videos are going to be featured. So when somebody trolls me, and this also spurred because I posted a tweet saying, this guy basically was talking about, oh, Qaaman, you did a shitty job, reviewing episode 27 of Dragon Ball Super, and he's entitled to his own opinion, but he doesn't understand that by trolling me, he's actually commenting, because if he just didn't say anything, that's actually more of a way to troll me than commenting, because by commenting, he's increasing the amount of comments on my video, and by increasing the amount of comments on my video, what he's doing is he's helping my video get featured more, and by my video being featured more people are going to bump into my video, and then more people are going to subscribe, and more people are going to watch my video, which means that more ads are going to be playing because more people are watching, which means I'm going to be paid more. So whenever I see somebody posting a troll comment on my comment section, I'll just say thank you, because you just helped me make more money. Thank you. Alright, Fiverr, I don't have time to check that out. Marry, fuck, kill, Piccolo, Mozilla, Vulpix, or Goku T23. Are you serious, guys? Come on, man. None. That's my response. Who's hotter, Amber, Megan, or Gabby? Come on, who's asking these questions, man? Are you guys trying to make me look bad? Okay, I'm not gonna answer this question, because if I answer this question, it's gonna cause so much controversy. Let's just say that Amber, Megan, and Gabby, all three of those girls are my friends. They're cool people, and they're good at what they do on YouTube. Let's leave it at that. I'm not answering this question, and I'm sure if Geekdom's watching this, he's probably laughing his ass off. Which Dragon Ball Z character would you like to get fucked by? Mine would be Chi-Chi. Who's asking these questions? Okay, I don't know. I'd fuck Marin, and not Krillin's daughter, Marin. I'm talking about Krillin's ex-girlfriend, Marin. She would be my number one. Watch my top 10 sexiest Dragon Ball women video. It's the only video you'll ever see me talk about that. When was it you fall in love with someone? When was it? I mean, the last time I was in love, man. Fuck. There were like a few women in life I've had serious feelings for, but love, man, I don't know. Love is too strong for me to say I'm in love with somebody, but I definitely have had serious, strong feelings for several women in my life. My ex-girlfriend's one of them, but that's high school, so I don't really think I could call myself in love with somebody in high school, especially if we didn't date that long. But I mean, I had feelings for her, and then obviously there's other women I've met after that I've had feelings for. So yeah, but I mean, when? All throughout my life, dude. But not love. Goku versus Frieza at bowling. Well, Frieza has a tail, so maybe that might give him more balance. Like, he could just put his tail on the ground and, like, I don't know, it give him a firmer back when, like, throwing the ball. I don't know. I go with Frieza. Hercule versus Cell at chess. I'm gonna have to go with Cell here. I mean, Cell's probably significantly smarter than Hercule. And, you know, Hercule will think that he's just pulling some fancy tricks. So I'm gonna go with Cell. If Dragon Ball Z fighting speed is faster than light, then how do they see attacks coming? If you want to say they can sense the attacks, explain Frieza and the androids who can't sense energy. Keep in mind that even with light perception, the brain still takes a split second to process an image. I've actually thought about doing a video on like how fast are Dragon Ball characters, and I'm gonna have to do a lot of research on this. But I mean, if they can see the light, if they can see the attacks coming, I mean, it's obviously reflexes too that you also have to take in consideration. And the game theorists did a video talking about like the plasma of like the Dragon Ball stuff, but that was kind of contradicting to what Toriyama has said. And I think Matt Pat's fantastic. I'm not taking a shot at him at all. I think he's great at what he does. But what I'm saying is Toriyama directly said in one of his interviews that when he visualizes ki, he wants it's basically, you know, invisible, even though that causes some inconsistencies. It's basically creating all these colors and stuff for us, the viewers, to see, but really it's invisible to the Dragon Ball characters, and it's kind of weird, but I guess that's just the way it is. I know, guys, it doesn't make sense, but that's just the way it is. Do you think Universe 6 Saiyans still use their ape forms? Yes, I guess. Why is Cooler's fifth form not golden? Come on, guys. Because Cooler's Revenge was created like decades before Dragon Ball Super and Resurrection F. That's the honest answer. Do you think the Dragon Ball universe is more evolved than our world when it comes to gender equality because the men in Dragon Ball don't show any remorse in hitting women? It's more specifically Chi-Chi in Dragon Ball and 18 and Videl and Z. I mean, I've never thought about this. I mean, I don't think we've learned enough about Dragon Ball society and gender differences to give you an accurate answer to this, but from what it seems, there are a lot of strong women in Dragon Ball, but if you consider the fact that the characters you mentioned, like Chi-Chi, 18, and Videl, these are like some of the main females, so obviously they're going to have more of a prevalent role, especially 18. I mean, Android 18 is stronger than 99.99999% of any organism in the universe out there. You know, I mean, you got to think that the people who are stronger than 18 fall under a very, very, very small percentage. So, obviously, nobody's going to mess with her. And Videl and Chi-Chi, I mean, they're probably stronger than 99% of males, too. Yes, even though 18 is significantly stronger than Videl. Okay, let's count universe. 18 stronger than most organisms in the universe, I'm sure. Videl and Chi-Chi are stronger than 99% of probably most humans. I mean, most humans probably wouldn't beat Videl or Chi-Chi in a fight, so they're probably in the upper 1% too. Hercule's in the upper 1% of strongest humans, even though he's weaker. So you gotta think about it like that. Those characters aren't gonna be messed with, so that's really honestly the reason why they are like that. What would it take for you to drop the Dragon Ball Super anime and maybe go back when it's over? I mean, to make me drop Dragon Ball Super? Man, I mean, what would make me drop it is if, like, they're just completely wasting my time. But honestly, guys, since I do reviews on Super, you know, and because of the fact that I'm basically talking hand in hand with all these Dragon Ball YouTubers and making videos on a lot of the stuff that Super does, I mean, the chances of me dropping Super are probably, like, 0%, because I mean, it literally is a part of like my Dragon Ball YouTubing experience. So it would kind of be stupid of me to do that. It gives me video ideas along with other things. In the Cell games, did Cell really need a senzu bean? Could he not have just used Piccolo's regeneration ability? Also, would the fight with him and Gohan be different if he did not use a senzu bean? YouTube video, please. Thanks, love the vids. Chris Sykes. Good question, Chris Sykes, but the answer to this is honestly the fact that Cell, like, regeneration requires your own energy. Cell was low on energy when he was fighting Goku. He wasn't, like, injured. He was just, like, depleted of energy, and there's a difference between that and there's a difference between, you know, getting a senzu bean. So that's honestly the reason. What if Vegeta remained unfused? How would that affect Dragon Ball Super? Man, I mean, if Vegito's in Dragon Ball Super, I mean, he'd probably fight Beerus, and he'd probably put up a better fight, if not win. I mean, Beerus seems like he's on a different scale of power than even Vegito, but I'm pretty sure if there was a Super Saiyan God Vegito, he'd probably put up a better fight, probably even win. I don't think there's enough evidence to give you how much he would win, because Dragon Ball power scaling is very inaccurate. But I mean, he might beat Beerus, but beating Beerus might lead to Beerus wanting to destroy the Earth. Or at the same time, if Vegeta were to fight Beerus and beat him, that could lead to a lot of things. But at the same time, Vegeta probably wouldn't kill him, so he'd probably just fight him, tell him to go off Earth, and that's it. If not, you know, Whis would go back with him, you know, and Beerus would probably be motivated to come back in the future. And to close out the last 3 questions here, have you ever experienced sleep paralysis? I think I have, but I don't know what all of the exact, I guess you would say, symptoms are, but I have felt very weird waking up from sleep before. Why do villains seem to get extremely weaker when they're dead, like Cell, Frieza, Deborah, and the Ginyu Force? Well, that's not really true, because, I mean, when we've seen these guys in the afterlife, it was in filler episodes, and filler's very inconsistent, as Super Jane has said. Check out a video I did on, you know, Pikkon versus Cell, who's really stronger, and we go more in depth about that. And last but not least, which words or phrases do you overuse? Oh, this is a very, very, very easy question. Alrighty is one. Guys is another one. What's another Qaaman word? In the comment section, guys, put all the Qaaman words you can think of. Let's see. Specifically, I say that a lot. Especially, considering the fact. I'm just thinking of all the things I say. Let's see. I'm thinking, is that it? I mean, those are the main ones, considering the fact is something I say a lot. Yeah, rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys. I guess that's it. So, I guess this was a perfect question to close out with, because I'm about to say it right now, guys. I mean, so, guys, that's been my video for today. I had a brain fart because I was actually really thinking of all the Qaaman words I could think of, especially considering the fact I can't think of any more, guys. You guys have been listening to my videos for years. Please say so in the comment section below. You know, what Qaaman words do you hear me overuse? You know, I'm actually very curious. And put in the comment section, if you stuck through with the Q&A, put hashtag Qaaman words, just to see, you know, all of you guys who've been loyal and sticking through with my videos, because I always like to see my fans who like stick through and watch throughout a whole video. But yeah, guys, those are the only words I can think of. Write down all the Qaaman phrases I use. Those are the only ones, but the biggest 2 would have to be alrighty, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So most importantly, over everything else, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, as I always say, to have a great day, guys.